Hi everybody, Kaiwaza with you, John Charles. Welcome back to my channel, and today we dive into the battle of the Hawaiian wedding songs, I guess you could say. Interestingly, in the older Hawaiian music, there are actually two songs that can claim to be the Hawaiian wedding song, and both of them actually were written by the same person, and their stories are a little bit similar. And I thought today we would take a look at those two songs, listen to a few samples from some of their recordings and the history of them, and a little bit of the history of the composer, and then, you know, what your thoughts are about who really can lay claim to that title, the Hawaiian wedding song. If I had been recording this video 30 or 40 years ago, you probably all listening on the mainland and elsewhere would have known a song called the Hawaiian wedding song. You probably knew it. But here in 2025, 2026, actually, you probably don't, unless you're an aficionado of Hawaiian music, know any song called the Hawaiian wedding song. So let's talk about this. The composer of both songs that kind of lay claim to that title is the same person, Charles E. King, who was a native Hawaiian, part Hawaiian composer who lived here in Honolulu most of his life, born and raised, and lived most of his life here. He was a music teacher and a teacher at the Makamae schools. He was also a band leader for the Royal Hawaiian Band for a while, and he was also hosting Hawaiian music programs on the radio here in Hawaii in the very, very early part of the 1900s. He lived from 1874 to 1950. So he had kind of a thing. He was a very well-known composer, composed many, many songs that we still, you know, that were classics, Naleo Hawaii, or Song of the Islands, Imiawia Oi, or King's Serenade, after his name, Charles E. King, and many others. Quite standards, you know, in the early part of the most of the 1900s. They were quite well known. This first one we're going to talk about, I don't know the exact date that it was composed on, but it was before 1925 for sure, probably around 1920 or so, but it's called Le Aloha Le Makamae. Often referred to as the original Hawaiian wedding song because it was so often that it was played at weddings in the 1900s. I wouldn't know. I wasn't going to weddings much. I'm not going to weddings now very much, so I don't know. That's the story. Anyway, it is a love song. It does not mention weddings. It doesn't say anything about weddings in the original lyrics. And it was written as the second song we're going to talk about as a duet, a romantic duet. I won't go through all the Hawaiian lyrics, but I'll just give you the direct translation of the Hawaiian lyrics. It's beloved one, beloved of mine, to me you're precious, a precious lei. A lei, the wreath of flowers, sometimes poetically can refer to a person, a beloved person. Alone I wait, my heart is yearning. Come, my love, abide with me. Your love is what I cherish always, for all time. It is only you that I long for. Heed my prayer, beloved, my precious one. Come and let us be together. That's a direct translation of the actual Hawaiian lyrics. And you can see it would be very suitable for a wedding, you know, very much a love song. I'm going to say that at some point it was given English lyrics that are not a translation of the Hawaiian lyrics. And it became known as Forevermore. You might know it by that title. I'm not really sure what it's more widely known as, Forevermore or Le Aloha, Le Makamae. It's in my recordings, it's recorded under both titles many, many times. The English lyrics are as follows. I'll say aloha for just tonight. May the stars caress you till morning light. The sky above will find me waiting. I'll sing to you my song of love. Will you take my heart forevermore? You are the one I've waited for. I promise you a heart that's faithful. By stars above, I pledge my love. And hand in hand through life's doors, we will be as one forevermore. Again, it doesn't talk about a wedding, but it's certainly very suitable for one, and it kind of sounds like this is a wedding. I'm sure this was written after, I don't know the dates of the English lyrics, but I'm sure it was written after it was already popular and already being played at weddings in Hawaii. I'll clue you into a little something I think most people don't know or realize, that the English lyrics to Le Aloha, Le Makamae, Charles E. King's Hawaiian song, were written by somebody that's pretty well known in exotica circles these days. That is Milt Raskin. He wrote these English lyrics, which we just read. Milt Raskin, if you're in the exotica music world, is very well known for this album, Kapu, Forbidden, the exotic sounds of Milt Raskin. This is kind of a considered sort of a classic. I don't think it was received that way when it was initially released, but nowadays, this is another version of the same album with a different title, but it's the same one. And it's a very much an exotic album, instrumental. But Milt Raskin was a lyricist. He did write lyrics for other people and whatnot too. So anyway, little trivia. Milt Raskin wrote the lyrics to Forevermore. Now for how often was this recorded? Now I have my Hawaiian collection, you see parted back there. I have about 83 versions of Le Aloha, Le Makamae, or Forevermore. I do not have a breakdown, I'm sorry, of how many of them are in English and how many of them are in Hawaiian, or how many have both lyrics, which people would often do, or how many are instrumental. I don't have that broken down, but I will say that I know I'm going to be asked what my favorite recordings of it are. So that's just my opinion. And I also want to preface it by saying this is not a particularly favorite song of mine. It never has been. I'm not really a fan of these sort of melodramatic duets, which this is, that tend to get sort of operatic and very, whatever. I'm not really that big of a fan of it. So this song, I guess I would tend to favor recordings that don't treat it in a very melodramatic manner, that kind of chill out over it and just kind of play it pretty and a little soft and let it go. So having said that, my favorite version of it instrumentally is going to be Halaloma's Le Aloha, Le Makamae from the album Hawaiian Dreams. Again, not because it's the most amazing version or whatever, but I love Halaloma's steel playing. This record's from 1966. I love his steel playing, and this is kind of a simple, somewhat straightforward, a little bit of playing with the chords a little bit on it differently, but again, pretty just straightforward, nice, mellow steel guitar. as well. Again, I have a couple picked out that I kind of like. Kind of. I never really go for Forevermore. It's never like, oh, I have to listen to Aloha Le Makamae. I don't. Jeffrey Apaka's 1978 recording from his album I Am Hawaii. I kind of like this version, again, because it's pretty straightforward. It is not operatic in any way. It's not performed as a duet. It's just him singing. And kind of straightforward English. I believe it's the English lyrics on this one. And I like it. Likewise, the other version, I would pick out one if I had to pick out another that was a favorite, would be from Lonnie Kai, who you might remember from being on the original Hawaii Five-0 show. This is his 1963 album, Island Love Songs. Nice album. I like it. Again, this one, it is in Hawaiian. He does sing it all in Hawaiian, but it's not operatic. It's not grandiose. It's not very theatrical. It's a little bit exotic. It's got a little bit of a rhythm going on, but it's a very, again, kind of straightforward. And he's kind of a loungy singer. He has a little vibrato going and not operatic, but kind of that lounginess. So I kind of enjoy that version.
My song of love, will you take my heart forevermore? Ko aloha na
That's Le Aloha Le Makamae. That is often called, on recordings, also the original Hawaiian wedding song. Now there's another song that Charles E. King wrote, same guy, a few years later. Exactly when it was written, there's some confusion about. I think Charles E. King may have had a little confusion himself. He wrote, or reported that he wrote it in 1926 when he was convalescing in a hospital. However, that can't be true. Maybe he's confused about the year he was convalescing, because it appeared in 1925 in an operetta that he wrote and that was put on in Honolulu called The Prince of Hawaii. And it was put on here, and it also toured in California. That was in 1925, and it has Ke Kali Neau in it. That's the song we're talking about, Ke Kali Neau, which in English literally means I'm waiting for thee, waiting for you. So, it probably was written before it had to have been written before 1925. A couple of years after Le Aloha Le Makamae, probably, he wrote Ke Kali Neau. Now again, it's a duet. It's similar in style. It's usually kind of melodramatic, tending towards these kind of vocals, I'm not really into that, personally. Let me read for you, where are they? Let me read for you the translation of the Hawaiian lyrics. Again, this is not the English lyrics that the song is known with. This is a translation of the original Hawaiian lyrics that Charles E. King wrote. Here I am waiting, where is my beloved? I've searched for you, and now that I've found you, calm the desire of my heart. Sealed forever to you, sweetheart, you are so precious. I pledge my love to you alone. I desire you, true to you alone. With you, joy will ever be mine. Sorry. You're mine, oh my lei. You're mine, my lei. Again, we have a reference to the flower lei, sort of also talking about a beloved person. Fond remembrance of the one who came, my fragrant lei drenched in the rain. Listen to you, my heart's desire, to the thought within me. Open the heaven within my body. My flower, my fragrant lay, I will string and bind like the fragrant jasmine flower. You are my blossom, my lei of lehua. My desire is always to be with and close to my love. My lei, you're mine. My lei, you're mine. That is Ke Kali Ne'au, the original lyrics. Now, here is an earlier recording of it, not the earliest, but one of the earlier recordings of it. And I'm bringing to this attention, and we're going to hear a sample from this, because this is actually featuring Charles E. King, the actual composer of the song, both of these songs. He gives the verbal introductions to each song. It's a very rare recording of his voice. This is King Serenade Volume 1, an album of Hawaiian favorites composed by Charles E. King, by Hal Aloma and his Hawaiians. Hal Aloma, oh, I love it. This is before Hal Aloma became really jazzy and cool and stuff. This is more sedate. But Charles E. King gives introductions to the songs, and then Hal Aloma and his Hawaiians perform it. So, and we love this cover. It's so beautiful. So we're gonna hear a little bit of this.
The song Ke Kali Ne'au tells the story of the king and his charming queen in their garden on the beach at Waikiki. The Hawaiian moon in all its bewitching glory, the whispering fragrance of tropical flowers, palm trees swaying to the breeze. Truly a night for romance. To express their joy, their majesties sing their favorite song, Ke Kali Ne'au, all waiting for thee.
That in 1951, I don't know the story behind this or why this happened or how this came to be, but Johnny Burke on the continent, who wrote the lyric, who was a lyricist, and he wrote quite a few famous lyrics to quite a few famous songs, including Misty and Pennies from Heaven and many others, wrote English lyrics to the Hawaiian, to Ke Kali Ne'au, which is always known as Ke Kali Ne'au. And his lyrics, he titled the song, Here Ends the Rainbow. This might be news to some people familiar with the Hawaiian wedding song, don't know this part of the story. So its first time in an English translation, it was called Here Comes the Rainbow. And it is somewhat similar to the Hawaiian lyrics. It does not directly talk about a wedding, as Ke Kali Ne'au does not. But it's kind of similar to the English, to the Hawaiian lyrics about I am alone, I'm waiting for you, oh, at last I've found you, at last we'll be together, my beloved, whatever. It's kind of it's not a translation, but it is similar. That one was recorded by Bing Crosby. Came out on this record right here. 1951, these lyrics were written.
Here ends the rainbow. I found my love, and the blue moon can shine now. Come, love, you're mine now.
Drifting and Dreaming, Bing Crosby had a long association with Hawaii. This album, which features Here Ends the Rainbow, has a couple of Hawaiian-ish songs and a bunch of songs that are not Hawaiian, but they're all done in a Hawaiian style. Some of them with, I think it's Lonnie McIntyre, right? Doing the backup. Yeah, and Les Paul's Paradise Island Trio, Dick McIntyre, Lonnie McIntyre. There's Hawaiian musicians doing the backup on a lot of these, and they're all in a Hawaiian style. So Here Ends the Rainbow got a little traction, not that much. I don't know any versions of it recorded in Hawaii. On the mainland now, in my collection, I do have 3 other versions of Here Ends the Rainbow, and that's it. The Bing Crosby have one from Art and Dottie Todd, who also recorded it later as Hawaiian Wedding Song. And then an unknown group, I don't know who they are, from La Brea Records, kind of a budgety, strange label out of California. I don't know. They don't list any artists. It's called Memories of Paradise, and there is a gentleman singing Here Ends the Rainbow. Those are the only recordings I have of it. Not many. And then something miraculous happened in 1958. Yeah, 1958. Yeah, Al Hoffman and Dick Manning, for whatever reason, again, I don't know the reason, decided to write English lyrics for Ke Kali Ne'au, different ones than Here Ends the Rainbow. They wrote English lyrics for the song, and they retitled it Hawaiian Wedding Song. Okay? Many people are familiar with these lyrics. I will read them. This is the moment I've waited for. I can hear my heart singing. Soon bells will be ringing. This is the moment of sweet aloha. I will love you longer than forever. Promise me that you will leave me never. Here and now, dear, all my love I vow, dear. Promise me that you will leave me never. I will love you longer than forever. Now that we are one, clouds won't hide the sun. Blue skies of Hawaii smile on this our wedding day. I do love you with all my heart. The only version of all of these songs that actually mentions Hawaii in the lyric, which is interesting because Charles E. King, the original composer, one of his things he kind of got into was he was living during a time when Tin Pan Alley and kind of jazzy stuff started happening with music on the continent and in Hawaii, and he kind of spoke against it, not so much as its own form, but just that he said, I don't think we should be writing Hawaiian songs like this. He was kind of I don't want to say exactly a purist, but said, Hawaiian songs should be slower in tempo, and they should be in the Hawaiian language, on Hawaiian subject matter. And if you're going to write a hapahaole or a half-white mixed song, which was kind of a type of music that was very definitely around, and to this day is still around, hapahaole they call it, it should have more than 1 or 2 Hawaiian words in it. It should have multiple Hawaiian words mixed in with the English words. And don't jazz up the rhythms, and don't make it faster, and don't make it all jazzy and, crazy. He said that, but then he didn't always follow his own instruction. Ke Kali Ne'au never mentions Hawaii. There are other songs of his that he considered Hawaiian songs that do not mention Hawaii. This is the first one that of the translations or the original lyrics that actually says blue skies of Hawaii on this our wedding day, and actually talks about a wedding. Andy Williams picked this song up. Andy Williams recorded Hawaiian Wedding Song in the late 50s, and it immediately became a hit, and it went to the top 11, not quite top 10, went to the top 11. After that, after his recording of Hawaiian Wedding Song, it's pretty a distinctive version. The floodgates kind of opened. This is Andy Williams' recording of it. They also reissued the album a little bit later and did this, but same version of Hawaiian Wedding Song on these albums. Very nice.
I will love you longer than and forever. Promise me that you will leave me never. Here and now, dear, all my love I vow, dear.
Very popular. It was imitated, this cracks me up, by the budget labels, of course. The Brand X labels would do that. So after Andy Williams has this big hit nationwide with Hawaiian Wedding Song, they did their own sound-alike versions of a version. There's one version. It's a sound-alike version, and all the budget labels used that one version. It's a guy with a very similar arrangement to Andy Williams' recording and a very similar voice. If you didn't know it wasn't Andy Williams and you were just listening to it, like, you probably would not realize it was not the Andy Williams version of Hawaiian Wedding Song. You would probably be fooled. It is a good recording. Here's one of it here, and then they would use that and then release it with all their other Hawaiian sloppy stuff, which I love, but that they threw on all the records, all the instrumental ones. So it would be like the only vocal normally on the records. It's another one, beautiful cover, but Hawaiian Wedding Song, that's the Andy Williams prototype fake version that they did, and it was released on many, many budget labels. You can find it on any budget label. If you're looking at a Hawaiian record that has Hawaiian Wedding Song on it, it is 99.9% sure that it's going to be that fake Andy Williams version of Hawaiian Wedding Song. Even Drew's, more recently, like Drew's Luau, Drew's Famous, you know, the CDs that did imitations of everybody and did, you know, Limbo Party records and whatever. They did, and I have it, they did Andy Williams fake version. Even in the 90s, they thought that was still the most well-known version. But anyway, everybody jumped on the bandwagon after that, and most all of the mainland artists would record Hawaiian Wedding Song on their albums of pop songs from the era, late 50s into the 60s. You can find almost any easy listening artist, singer sang the song. Almost every orchestra did a version of it, sometimes more Hawaiian than others, whatever, but it was a very well-known song. In my Hawaiian record collection here, I have 355 versions of Hawaiian Wedding Songs, so, or Ke Kali Ne'au, or some combination thereof. Again, I don't know. I don't have any reckoning of like how many of the versions are Hawaiian by Hawaiian artists, how many versions are in English, and how many versions are in instrumental. But it became so well known that in Hawaii, most of the performers performing at hotels and shows and things were expected to do it. Even as late as like 15 years ago, I was talking to some people that were in a performing group, and they said the two most requested songs they still got were Hawaiian Wedding Song and Blue Hawaii. Those were the two songs everybody seemed to request. I don't know if that's so much true anymore here in 2026. I think a lot of the people that know the really Hapahali standards and the songs like Hawaiian Wedding Song are gone, and I don't even know if either of those two songs are performed at weddings in Hawaii much anymore, because the last time I went to a wedding was like 25 years ago, or more than that actually now. So I was playing at it. I was playing Hawaiian Wedding Song at it. So I don't know if today either of those songs are played at weddings. Maybe somebody here that is listening that does weddings, or goes to a lot of weddings. Are either one of those songs done at weddings very much? I kind of don't think so. But anyway, again, asking for my favorite versions, I'm going to say, and I know I'm going to get grilled for this, but by a lot of people, but I don't really like the Hawaiian Wedding Song. I don't really like Le Aloha Le Makamae. I don't really like the Hawaiian Wedding Song. Why? Because I don't like those kind of duets that are sort of melodramatic and operatic. You know, I don't, yeah, and that, a lot of them tend to, they're like a showpiece for your voice, and they, you know, and it's all swelling and very dramatic, and the woman is, or the falsetto, or whoever is doing the female part, you know, is singing really, really high, and sometimes you're just like, not really my thing. So, I would honestly say I don't really have favorite versions of Hawaiian Wedding Song, but I will show you the ones that I, you know, I mean, I like, that I'm okay with, or why I like them. I like this version. It's actually from a Japanese Hawaiian group called the Diamond Head Hawaiians, from the album On a Tropic Night. It's from 1973. It's instrumental. It's a lot of chord playing on the steel guitar, a lot of reverb on it. It's very like the picture, like the steel guitar is in the distance, and there's a female wordless voice that kind of weaves in and out, which I'm kind of into, sort of an exotic thing. So this version, if I'm just gonna chill out with Hawaiian Wedding Song, I like this version. Another one I really do like is one from my childhood, but I am in this case able to separate just the sentimentality and say that I actually do like this arrangement of it. Malakoa and the Trade Winds, Hawaiian Wedding Songs. There's not one, not two, but three steel guitars playing on this one. It's not uber romantic. It's a little bit faster paced. Not fast, but it's not draggy and dead. Kind of like Hawaiian Wedding Song can kind of be like, they keep a pace going here. And then vocally, I have a few that I like, and you can imagine one of the reasons picked out the ones I liked is because they're not the melodramatic ones where they're trying to show off how amazing their voice is. One is from 1959, Haunani Kahale Vai, whose voice I just love. She can sing anything. She could sing the alphabet. It wouldn't matter. Beautiful voice, love her stuff. That's her. And she does a very nice rendition of the Hawaiian Wedding Song that is not melodramatic. It's just very sung, kind of straightforward and very pretty. And also, I like a mainland group's version, vocal from Aloha with the King Sisters, because they also are not trying to be melodramatic with it. They have beautiful harmony. This is a beautiful harmony. And very interestingly, for a mainland group, they sing it in the original Hawaiian. Most of the mainland groups, once the Hawaiian Wedding Song English lyrics became popular and whatnot, that's mostly how they don't usually sing it in Hawaiian. But these guys sang it in the Hawaiian, and it's not bad. I mean, they didn't really screw up the language or whatever. And the singing is beautiful, and it doesn't build to this crescendo. It's a very nice, very pretty rendition of the song, Hawaiian Wedding Song.
This is the moment of sweet aloha. I will love you longer than forever.
I should say even most of the Hawaiian artists also, because Hawaiian Wedding Song was such a big worldwide hit, most of the people that were coming here on vacation then, like later in the 60s and 70s and 80s, whatever, were requesting to hear that song, but they wanted to hear it in English. They wanted to hear the English lyrics because they understood that. So most of the Hawaiian groups started doing it in English rather than in Hawaiian or in a mix of it. The recordings done by Hawaiian groups, though, tend to be more of the Hawaiian lyrics than the English lyrics. Although some of them will do both or one or the other, but I think there's more in the Hawaiian language done by Hawaiian artists. So I don't know. Which one is the Hawaiian wedding song for Rizzle? I don't know. I suppose a long time ago, more of the Hawaiian local people would have said it was Le Aloha Le Makamae. That's probably what they played more at weddings. But I suspect as time went on, I bet a Hawaiian wedding song was played more at weddings than Le Aloha Le Makamae. And given the sheer number, the difference of recordings, I mean, 83 of Le Aloha Le Makamae, 355 of Ke Kali Neau. I think you have to declare Ke Kali Neau as the winner. As the winner of the Hawaiian wedding song title. It deserves it. Now, yeah, which one do I like better? I don't really like either one, so I'm not gonna pick on that one. I'm just saying we need a Hawaiian divorce song. That's what we need. We don't have too many wedding songs. We need a divorce song. You can hear many renditions of both of these songs on my Hawaiian radio station called Hawaiian Hi-Fi Radio. That's going to be linked below, and that is on live365.com. You can check that out anytime you like, night or day, and you can hear Hawaiian wedding song, Ke Kali Neau. You can hear the original Hawaiian wedding song, Le Aloha Le Makamae. Don't have any Hawaiian divorce songs to play yet. Yeah, we're working on it. But anyway, have a good day. Thank you for watching. Please leave your comments below. Which one do you like better and why?